Hello friends, welcome back, and if you're new to our channel, thank you for stopping by. Today it's a knitting pattern for which I have taken 25 stitches and it is an 8-row pattern. So starting off with the first row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off or we work a knit. From here starts the repeat pattern. It's going to be 3 number of knit and then we slip 1 stitch. Again 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3, and again we slip 1 stitch. So this is the sequence that we are going to follow for the first row of the pattern. Pattern requires stitches in the multiple of 4 plus 1, so I have taken 25 stitches. So I just slipped 1 stitch. After that I'm going to work 3 number of knit, slip 1 stitch, again 3 number of knit, 1, 2, that's the third one, and finally the edge stitch is also going to be a knit. So this completes the first row of the pattern. Moving on to the second row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. From here starts the repeat pattern. It's going to be 3 number of purl, slip the stitch, 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3, slip the slipped stitch, again 3 number of purl, again slip the slipped stitch. So this is the sequence for the second row of the pattern. This is a beautiful and easy pattern for which stitches have to be taken in the multiple of 4 plus 1. So for this sample I have taken 25 stitches. So here I just worked 3 number of purl and the edge stitch is also going to be a purl. This completes the second row. The third row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. Now please watch carefully. Yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit. So this is the sequence for the third row of the pattern. It is very simple and easy. We just have to purl and knit, purl and knit. This is an 8-row pattern, perfect for sweaters, cardigans, jackets, caps, socks, anything. So let's continue working the third row of the pattern. Yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a purl, and finally the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So this completes the third row of the pattern. Let's move on to the fourth row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that it is going to be purl all across. This is the fourth row of the pattern. Now this is a beginners friendly pattern. We can use this pattern for any project like sweaters, cardigans, jackets, socks, caps, and it is an 8-row pattern, easy to remember and work. And stitches are required in the multiple of 4 plus 1. So I have taken 25 stitches, that is for 6 are 24 plus 1, that is 25 stitches. So here my fourth row comes to an end. Half of the pattern is done. Now let's move on to the fifth row of the pattern. Please watch carefully. The edge stitch is slipped off. And here it is going to be a knit and then we slip 1 stitch. This is to adjust the pattern. From here starts the repeat pattern. This is very important step. And we are going to start off with 3 number of knit and then slip 1 stitch off without working, as we have done earlier. Again 3 number of knit, slip 1 stitch without working, 3 number of knit, slip one stitch without working. 3 number of knit, slip one stitch without working, 3 number of knit, slip one stitch without working. After that a knit, and the edge stitch is also going to be a knit. So the 5th row comes to an end. Let's work the 6th row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. From here starts the repeat pattern. It's going to be a purl and slip a stitch as we had done earlier. From here starts the repeat pattern. It's going to be 3 number of purl, slip the stitch, 3 number of purl, and then we slip the stitch. Again 3 number of purl, we slip the stitch. This is the 6th row of the pattern. We slip one stitch, 3 number of purl. Let's slip the stitch again, and then a purl, and the edge stitch is also going to be a purl. So the 6th row of the pattern comes to an end. Let's move on to the 7th row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. From here starts the repeat pattern. Yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit. This is the 7th row of the pattern, and the sequence is pretty easy. It's just a purl and a knit, a purl and a knit. So all across we are going to continue with this sequence. Yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a purl, and yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards. It's going to be a knit, yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards. It's going to be a knit, yarn forward, a purl, yarn backwards. It's going to be a knit, yarn forward, finally a purl, yarn backwards. The edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the 7th row comes to an end. Now let's move on to the 8th row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that we are going to purl all across. This is the 8th row of the pattern, which is extremely easy. We just have to purl all across. This is the 8th row of the pattern. So my beautiful 8 row pattern is about to end, and for this pattern we have to take stitches in the multiple of 4 plus 1. So you have to take stitches accordingly for your project. So here my 8th row comes to an end. After working 8 rows, this is how our pattern is looking. I have worked one set of pattern. We have to keep repeating the 8 rows again and again. So thank you for staying till the end. If you all have found the video useful, do give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family members. If you are new to our channel, do consider subscribing and stay tuned for interesting videos. So till we meet again, it is bye bye for today. Bye.